Hi, it's Kathy from Raven Vintage. Welcome back to my craft room. I'm going to be a little slow going today. I have, you'll probably see me film this video in increments because I've come down with a case of vertigo. I had it for the very first time just over a year ago, and it took about 2 months to get right. So this started Sunday morning. I think I'm over the worst part of it. Yeah, if you've ever had vertigo before, it's very debilitating. I can't read, I can't watch TV. I can scroll a little bit on my phone for 5-10 minutes and then I feel like I need a nap. I can't look up, I can't look down, I can't look side to side, but I can look right here. This is one of the benefits, I think, of crafting, especially slow crafting like we've talked about, is that when you're not feeling well, you can still do something. Keep your hands busy and keep your mind busy. So this is making me feel better being here. I do apologize if my tone sounds a little blah. I'm just trying to be very gentle with myself so I don't get feeling ill. Okay, enough about, I don't mean to boohoo. I just wanted to let you know why I might sound a little different and why I'm a little slow today. Okay, so I did this as a reel the other day, talking about some design elements or tips, I guess, when you're working with, like this could have been done as I did a video a while ago about journal toppers and making a bunch of these in advance so that you have some to select from when you're working on a journal and maybe use them for inspiration. And in this case, I just made it as a page layout. I just glued the whole, I started with this base and put the whole thing in. If you're on my Instagram, I'll try to upload it as a short here to YouTube as well so you can see those points. If not, I'm going to try to link, if I can remember right here, the video about the 10 design tips. I have a full-length video about that as well. So that's what I was talking about with the journal toppers. So I did this little bit trying to work again with textiles in our journal. So that's what I worked on the other day. So what I want to do is some tassel-y type of things. So these are some of the little bits I have left over at this point from what we've done so far. And one thing I know I wanted to do was do some stamping on this lighter color. These are still fabrics from Michelle Cox Creative. Okay, I've been enjoying my new mat very much, so I'm really glad to have made that, have found that the other day at Michael's. Okay, so the first one I want to do is I wanted to start out with some script background, and I think we'll just stick with the vintage photo because I could go pink or green or something, but I don't really want to experiment with these fabrics because I don't have extra of them. It's just, once it's used, it's used. It's in the journal, and I'm going to try to use as much of the kit from Michelle as possible in this one journal. So just very lightly going to stamp this fabric here, and I'm not going to do the whole thing because I want to leave some of it blank. So just some script in the background with vintage photo. I have a good solid pattern to use. I used this on that page I just showed you, so I thought I would use this, repeat that in the journal. So I'm looking for something solid to contrast against that faint script there. So I'm just going to do one like that. I'm going to do one with numbers. So I think I'll go this direction instead. Shows up a little bit. It's enough of a solid that it contrasts against the script. I'll try to zoom in there for you. Go right up in between these two symbols I just did. So that's one piece. And then this one, I'm going to the bottom. I might not have a lot of words today either, so hopefully you can just kind of fill in the blanks when I'm not talking. I don't know, do you guys have any remedies for vertigo? I learned a lot. I didn't ever know a whole lot about it until I had it for the first time last year, and I remember it well because it started about a month before I retired, and I still wasn't quite right when I retired at the end of September. And I know it started in August, so I know I had it for approximately I dealt with it for approximately 2 months. Obviously after a week or so you get to a point where you can drive again, and I can't drive right now, I know that. This really is my favorite piece in the whole thing. So I want some pieces that are wider, just to show a little bit of dimension here. Or layering, sorry. Okay, so pretty. And then maybe this green, we really haven't used this yet, have we? Okay, so using the rule of threes here, I think that I'm either going to go 3 or 5, but for this first one, let's just do 3. I just think there's enough there with the busyness of the stamping. This is a little bit too long, but first what I want to try to do is just fray a little bit of the edges. I just don't want a sharp edge on it, that's all. These can be dangles that you hang off of a tag, or I have a thought for this one. Do you remember the side tuck we did with this? I think I want to clip it to that. So I got out a few things. I have the buttons, of course. We have out some beads and pearls. We always have the rusty bits. It's always my tip whenever I bring these out. When you go to the dollar store and you're looking in the craft section and you see these little divider bins, walk over to the hardware aisle because they're usually just a little bit cheaper. They're like with the tools. Like this one's $3.25. The one over in the craft section was probably $4.25 or $4.50. Not a big difference, but they're basically the same thing. Okay, these, I want to get a couple of these out. Which reminds me, the other day I bought myself a winter coat, just like a black puffer jacket. And I was looking in Walmart in the ladies section, and I had picked one out. Just, you know, nothing fancy, just something to keep you warm, shoveling snow and doing all the things. And I happened to walk past the gentleman's section, and they had similar coats. It's almost, I would say exactly. The cut's different, I guess. And they were like $20 cheaper. I was like, why? Why? Seriously, why? So I tried on a men's and figured out what size I needed, and yeah, saved myself a few dollars. Okay, these, when I put these on, only one seems to work. I can do 2 smaller ones on either side. Let's maybe try that. They're so pretty. Like, say, what about these clear? That would be cute. So we'll start with one clear one. And then we'll figure out which pearl we're going to use. I don't know, what do you think? Kind of like them all. That's a no. I guess that first one was the lucky one. All right, well, let's try a different color then. Begrudgingly, but it did go. Okay, and then another clear one. There. So that's very pretty. So I would say I'm going to go in, back out, clip like that. That is cute. Now, these ends I'm not fussy about. So I feel like I want to perhaps let's do at least this one here and see what happens. This way or this way? I want this way. Okay, so those bottom two. I'll do the top one too. And I feel like this one should be a little bit shorter. At least we've got the angle now. That. I hope I get this angle right. That's really pretty. I like that. Now you can add, if you wanted to, if it makes sense, some sort of ephemera or something to it. These little bingo numbers I can cut. And then I have all these smalls. I don't know if anything is going to make sense. Now I have a number on it already, so I'm going to say no for these, for this one anyway. What about dog? That's kind of cute, isn't it? Do we like that, or do we like a plain? Something like that, perhaps. So it's just letters showing and not numbers. That's pretty. Okay, let's do that. And then we'll find a spot for it in the journal. So that's the first one. I'm going to aim to do, take a little break after this one, and then we'll, I aim to do 3 different ones today. Okay, so I think just this glue will be just fine. That's my art glitter glue. Put that in the back. That. There, that's really cute. All right, now let's see what that's going to look like in the journal. So I'll first go to the spot I had in mind. Right here. This is what I was thinking, because it needs to attach to something. Well, it gets a little bit lost there, doesn't it? That's what I thought. That's where I had wanted to put it. It might look a little more cute opposite. But you remember I said I wanted to go back and do something in the 4th signature? That's where I did this. So I've already looked after that. Oh, it's gonna look pretty anywhere, I think. Let's see where it has the most impact. So we don't need to attach it with the ball pin. We can always just glue it as well. So let's just take a quick flip through and see what we think. That's really lovely there, isn't it? It's too busy. Oh, I quite like that. I very much like that. Okay, I'm going to actually staple it, I think. I'm going to go underneath. It's got my tiny attacher here. I want it on an angle. So I'm just going to come in underneath here. And then I'm going to glue that down to cover the staple on this side. So it's got some movement with the staple, but it's not going anywhere. Show that much, and actually I don't mind that it shows, but we can always put something on the other side. So there's our first one. Okay, well, let's go have a little nap. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I left my lid off my glue. That is not good. Okay, so there's our first little tassel. I do want to add something to this pocket here. So I want to do something a little bit shorter. I do want to do something with buttons. I also had this little guy out. He has, I don't know if you can see it or not. It looks like it was glued onto something previously, but I do see holes so that could be used. It's probably from a charm bracelet if it has, that's what I'm guessing. So keep your eye open for charm bracelets at the thrift store where you might be able to take it apart and use them in your crafts. Okay, so this has a nice thick background. I do want to do some more layering like we did. I'll save this for something else. There's this piece, this lovely green color. Okay, I'm going to start with what I know. This is too long for the pocket, so I am going to shorten it. I do want to keep the wider top, and I'd say I wanted the longest length to be maybe there. So let's start with what we know, because I'm getting decision fatigue here. Maybe over a little bit. So I have this. It still has a little bit of the inking on this side from what we did. I don't have to do the green. I can keep this in the neutrals. But you know what? I think I just want to stick with the fabrics for right now. This is making it complicated for the brain capacity I have today. Let's just stick with what we have. I have this. I have this. All right, let's make this smaller. It's okay. It'll look pretty when we're done, promise. This is nice. It's very fragile. Like that. And I do want this in here somehow. That's not happening. Well, for starters, this is too wide. I can tell. I'm going to take off a small amount off the side. You were probably saying that, weren't you? You're probably trying to get me to hear you. Too wide, Kathy. So I'm going to gently. I'll fray the edges. Sorry, I'm making such a mess, and I try to usually keep things a little tidier so you can see what I'm up to. I hope you can follow them. Wow. It's just more of an idea and inspiration. It's not so much a tutorial. I mean, what's to teach here? Smaller to start. But I have two fabrics that are very similar, and I think that's where I need to see some contrast. I wonder if I can get something kind of substantial in there, like this is pretty on the top, isn't it? Let me see if I can follow this shape here. So it looks intentional. Like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's see. Let's see if that's going to work. Needs something right underneath it still. So let's go back to this guy. There, that's pretty. I think I like that. Okay, I'm going to start with a staple just to make my life easier, and then I will sew that. Oh, sewing might be. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. I'll also add some glue in behind these as well. Let's sew first. Okay, let me see if I can actually manage to sew. I don't know. We'll see. We'll try. Make yourself a couple little knots. Not like I think it's going anywhere. And then that might be just the trick. Maybe I should sew it on to, since I'm already here with my, I think if it's possible, it might be the best thing to do is to sew this right on. Yep. Right onto the pocket. I will come back in with some glue, but I think this is probably going to be the anchor it needs. All right, let's give ourselves a little. Ooh. There we go. A little knot. Times. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm very pleased with that, actually, after all that fuddling. Fuddling, word of the day. Okay, so I see where I pulled this up a little bit. Fix that. And I think it's bad. Isn't that pretty? Different shapes, different textures, different colors, just a little something, but still soft. And then this dark looks so pretty with that. Okay, so I think I'm going to glue a few layers here. Okay, that adds just enough to that pocket, right? And then once, of course, we add thing to it, that'll help break up that text a bit. I think that'll be really pretty once we get our ephemera in there. Okay, so that's nice. Okay, so let's first look and see if there's anything intentional we want to do. If not, we like a specific spot or something we want to add to. That's kind of cute. That might be too much if we added something there. I like this just as a flip. I don't want to add anything to that. Oh, she's so pretty. Same thing there. These are just adorable. Love how those turned out. That's so pretty. I quite like that. Now I feel like I want to round these corners. I don't know why. It's just at this moment, that is what's coming to my head. Maybe it's because of this roundedness. Okay, enough there. Oh, here. I think I would really like to add something here. And it needs to be something pretty dainty. I think this is a perfect color because of the page behind it. Oh, we have this guy too. I could certainly shorten him. I think this is the way to go. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit wider than the bottom piece. Start with what we know. That up a little bit. And I really do like the ribbon bottoms, so I think I'm going to do that again. And I do want to add some buttons to this. So do I want a third color or do I want to just leave the buttons? Let's see. Do green again. That's the same color. Now I already have a shape design, so I'm not really concerned about adding a design or shape. So I think I'll just do some sort of a I want to make it look kind of like a little bow and then put a button on the inside. So let's go back to this guy and tear a thin strip. So what if we just tied this like a bow? Well, we'll just tie it like a knot maybe. Let's start with that because it's going to be pretty hard to make a bow. A loose knot like this. Pretty. So let's get this shortened up first of all. So too tall. top. Take some off the top. And I'll take some off the bottom. There. Also layer it too. What's the point? And then let's see. Okay, so let's try another ball pin. This might be the easiest one yet. So a larger button on the back. This is the biggest one I have. This, and then a smaller one in front. Do I want a 2-hole or do I want a 4-hole? Kind of like the 2-hole for this. And then do I go right through all of this? Let's try it. I'm going to poke in here and up through the knot maybe. Let's see. Right up the middle of the knot. This got turned around. Okay, hold on. My buttons to stay this way. Now my buttons are getting turned around. I want to lay this way. Okay, that's fine. So let's either turn the ball pin around or turn the buttons around. Let's try turning the ball pin. Let's go this way. Sorry, this is so awkward. I know. I'm trying to show you what I'm doing here. I basically want to go in through this and up through this little tie we made. In here and right up through wherever it lands. Are my buttons laying the right way? No, they're not. Oh my gosh. Doesn't matter what I do. Okay, let's try changing the order of the buttons and turning them. Go this way and you go this way. That might be better. Yep. There we go. Oh, so pretty. Okay, I'll clean that up. I love the fleur-de-lis like that. I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay. However, how are we going to affix it? I think it's just going to be glue. I don't know if I can get in there with a stapler. I might be able to. Let's do that. Let's try that. I'm going to try to slide right in here. I'm going to go behind this little ribbon thing. Oh yeah, that worked. And then let's tidy this up. Do I want to do the ribbon bottoms now, or is there enough going on here? I feel like there's enough going on. Oh, that's so pretty. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, Michelle's textiles are so gorgeous. Yummy. I've seen a lot of people use the word yummy when they're commenting on these posts. Okay. This just feels like it's... Let's go this way a little bit. Go. Oh, you guys, this is so pretty. I really like that. Okay, so this guy needs a little bit of juicing up here. Let's see. It's crooked too, isn't it? There we go. I put under there? Where's that piece of paper I had? Let's just use this. Patience, slow crafting, little things are making the biggest difference here, aren't they? Oh my goodness, you guys, that's so pretty. Okay, so that I think is the perfect addition to this green. Picks up that green background of the wallpaper. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty. Okay, well, I think that's enough for me for today. I'm gonna clean up. Sorry to have you in such a mess here. I just want to say hello to everyone in the comments from below. I can't really read anything right now. So I'm just going to say hello to everyone that commented, and I'll try to catch up with you in the next video. The next video, speaking of, we are going to take some more wallpaper printed on cardstock. We're going to make some tags, and we're going to add fabric to our tags in different ways, like little pockets on top of our tags and just different ways. But we're going to start with that. So if you want to prep for next video. So today we did this guy. Oh, he's so pretty. So we used some vintage buttons and a bulb pin. And we did a bulb pin and some pearls and little glass plasticky beads. We added a little bit of paper ephemera, and we did the ribbon tail there. And on this one, where'd she go? We sewed on a charm from a bracelet. See how we can use our scrap fabrics too, just to make, by layering them, to make something really, really pretty. 1, 2, and 3. How pretty is that? Took a while to figure out the direction of the buttons, but we got it figured out. And next to the avocado dyed paper, I think that looks just fabulous. So, okay, well, I'm ready for a nap. How about you guys? All right, I'm even just going to leave my mess. All right, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and thank you for your patience with me while I'm a little bit under the weather. You all take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.